It's Accountability Monday, and tonight we need to discuss something that's very heavy on my heart right now. There are some parents that are actually putting their children in harm's way just to get by, and that's very concerning. I can't figure out if it's about desperation or if it's just plain recklessness. And I'm also trying to figure out how we as the community can step in and fix the issue at hand. Now, I have to be upfront with you guys. This isn't about me pointing fingers or just straight dragging parents. I feel the need to actually call out the system, the culture, and yes, the choices that we often make as a society. And honestly, I'm upset because people aren't actually appreciating the gift of parenthood. There are some people that see these headlines and it's a double blow to their guts. I know a few people that are out here who would do anything, and I mean anything, to have a child or children. And then when they see these stories of children being neglected or exploited, it's painful. It's very painful. And they're thinking, because I talk to people a lot, if they had the chance to be a parent, do you know what that feels like? Can you even imagine? Do you know someone? Can you imagine what that feels like? This is a painful reminder for us all. The kids are not just a responsibility. They're actually a blessing. And the biggest question is this about survival or, again, recklessness? See, most families in this USA or US of A are living paycheck to paycheck, and they're always in panic mode. See, when bills continuously pile up or the refrigerator is empty and, there's an eviction notice around the corner, you go into survival mode. And that's real, and we cannot dismiss that. But my question to you is, does that type of desperation actually excuse putting your child in danger? What's the line? Or would you draw 1,000 lines before you would make a bad decision when it came to your child? I know I would. I'd draw 1,000 lines or 1,000,000. But it's time for people to start taking accountability. See, my thought process is okay, we may not be in that position where we're flat broke, but we know someone that is. And more importantly is, what can we do to help them? Because for me, and I'm thinking about this, there are things that I just would never do to compromise my child's well-being, my grandchildren's well-being, my godchildren, and your child even, for that matter. So, this is a very sensitive subject, and it's got me on edge, because sometimes it's just not obvious. It's not as obvious as it should sound, right? So, you're thinking, I'm going to put my kids in harm's way. Sometimes it just starts that small, but over time it adds up. And there's always an example of what I'm talking about here. See, a parent could be working 2 jobs, and they're too tired, and the children say, "Can I go to a party?" Was that the scenario? But the parents so tired, they didn't ask enough questions because they're just too stressed out to think it through. And they just say, "Sure, you could go to a party." And then something like this happens at the party, like a fight, or there could be a party with no supervision, or just the plain old wrong people being in the wrong place at the wrong time. I don't know. And then it just takes one moment of distraction that can change your life forever. So for people who cannot experience having children, this just hits hard for them. They're thinking, if I had a child, if I would know where they were every second of the day. I never take that for granted. And honestly, that's something we all need to hear. Kids or children deserve that kind of attention. They have to be on site at all times, as on the site of the child. I mean, come on. There are so many other factors out here that are scary, and this just put the icing on top of the cake. Because then I started thinking about the money side. Social media has turned children into full-on brands. You got kids out here that review toys, they sell products, they're making millions on millions of dollars, and it sounds great, right? Yeah, it sounds super fantastic, but what happens when these children are the breadwinners for these grown people? Are they still allowed to be children? Or are they just a way for the parents to have income? See, they're on YouTube, they're on Instagram, they're like really doing it big. I'm talking about they are huge in the industry, but then I worry about these children and their freedom to just be that, a child. And then I worry about, or think about rather, if most parents are living paycheck to paycheck, or if they're one video away from losing sponsorship, what happens then? See, there's different ways you could put your child in harm's way and not realize that what you're doing is going to affect them. Now we're at the extreme part of the story where all these allegations are flying around, like the recent ones with Diddy and Jay-Z allegedly being at this after party with a 13-year-old. My question stands the same. How does this happen? How does this happen? Someone had to make this type of call. Someone had to think that this was okay. But it's not, in fact, okay. It's not. And you're wondering, Miss T, why does this affect us all? Here's the thing. This isn't just about one child. There's things happening in our neighborhoods and our communities on a daily basis that would make you cringe. And my mother used to tell me that it took a village to raise a child. But where is the village now to protect these children? Children often do not carry trauma quietly. It spills over into your schools, into your communities, into your relationships. It becomes everyone's problem eventually. So I need to ask you all, have you ever seen something that didn't sit right with you or in your spirit? A parent might have been too distracted, Or a child could have been carrying too much. I know the sports parents really push their kids hard. What did you see and what did you do? Did you step in? And if so, why? And if not, why not? It's time to be 100 with yourself. We have to figure this out. These children are counting on us. What can we do? It's time for us to come up with some solutions. Because I've had enough of hearing about the problem, talking about the problem. In my 2023 video, I told everyone that 2024 would be the year of revelation, and it stood heavy with what I said. I'm talking people revealing things left and right, and I'm talking about the topics that we're talking about, the Diddy topic. I'm talking about those topics, okay? I understand families are struggling, but we can reach out to them. We can babysit for them. Maybe we could share resources that we have at our fingertips, or sometimes just checking in does the job. Maybe they won't feel like they're drowning if they know that someone actually cares. See, everyone's acting selfish. It's time for us to speak up when we see things. If you see a child in a bad situation, just don't stay quiet. Talk to their parent. If that doesn't work, you can call a teacher. If that doesn't work, you can pick up a phone and report them anonymously. Hello? I got a concern, and so should you. Because your voice could be the difference between safety and harm. If you advocate for change, then we'll get better protection for our children. I'm talking about advocating for children that are influencers. I'm talking about advocating for students. I'm talking about advocating for children trying to live their lives. Point blank, period. See, when you advocate for these laws that protect children's safety and their earnings, then they're very well if you do that. Then I wonder how many of us are role models, because kids watch everything they see. If we value people and we treat them respectfully and we prioritize things, children see that. But if they see that you're constantly chasing the bag and that's all you care about, and no matter what else happens, it doesn't matter because the bag is what your goal is. They see as they do, or they do as they see. So accountability starts here. Because at the end of the day, being a parent isn't just a job, it's a privilege. And for those of us who have been placed with this privilege, we owe it to our children just to do better. I'm going to protect mine, and they're grown now, against everything and with everything that I have. And for those who can't have children, these headlines are a gut punch over and over and over and over and over again. They would give anything to be in the position that you're in right now, and you're running around sending your kids out to dance with the devil. That's heartbreaking. And it actually serves as a wake-up call to all of us. So here's my challenge for you. I want you to be the village that these children need. I want you to speak up, step out on faith to protect these children in your community. Because there is no amount of money that's worth a child's safety. I believe we can do better. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me for a little bit. Please like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video, which will be tomorrow, 2 p.m.